This is the original motor that came on the bike. On the 1976 bike, I used the 4-speed automatic Lifen motor, and then on the green 1970 Trail 70, I used the manual Lifen motor with the 1-down, 3-up transmission. Both of those work really well and also make the bike much more rideable, because on the green bike, for instance, I was able to get it up well over 50 miles an hour. At least for now, I'm planning on trying to go ahead and build it out with the original engine. So I tried, I really did. I spent about 5 miles riding the 1969 engine around, and it was just so unimpressive, I couldn't stand it. I was only able to get it up to about 30 miles an hour. I know there was a lot of tuning and possibly rejetting of the carb that I could have done to get it up a little faster. Reading through the forums, it looks like some folks are getting those engines up to 40, 45 miles an hour. But the thing is, even if you're getting up to that speed, it's taking a long time to get there. And yeah, the engine riding around, it just felt so gutless. So I definitely understand the appeal of having the stock engine on the bike, particularly if you're trying to do a restoration. And that was my original intent with this build, but I think if I were to have left the 69 engine on there, that it would probably have just sat as a piece of artwork in my office. And that's not what I want from a motorcycle. I want to actually be able to ride it and have it as an option when I'm going to go to the store or do something around town. So I'd like it to be something that I'm actually going to choose out of the different bikes that I've got to ride, and not just be something that sits in a corner that's looking real pretty to look at. So with that said, I've taken off the 1969 engine, as you can see, and I've once again ordered a Lifen 125 motor. Per the comment when I did that flashback, they were real successful options for the previous 2 bikes. This time I've decided to go with the 4-speed automatic like I did for the first 1976 bike. So I'm going to open up this Lifen 125, get it on the bike, and hopefully in short order get this one on the road. Alright, so this is the exact same kit actually that I ordered for the 1976 bike. It comes with a carb, a rudimentary wiring harness, and some of the electrical components to get it into the bike. Again, the mounting points on these are the exact same as the stock motor, so I just need to get somebody to hold the bike for me. I'll strap it in and get everything together. Since I've given up on making this an authentic build, I figured since I put the bigger engine on and I've got the nice big air filter, there's no reason that I should have the restrictive stock exhaust. So I went ahead and purchased from TV Parts this aluminum oversized exhaust to get a little more performance out of the engine. So this should be pretty easy to put together. Just gonna throw this on the bike. Then I'm gonna put the chain on, and it should be good enough to try it out for a brief test ride. All right, let's first start with the new exhaust. This also has a decibel killer in it, so it should be extra quiet. We'll see though. right, so I'm almost ready for the first ride with this engine. I have the exhaust installed. I really like the way that it looks. I'm not sure how the engine support is going to fit, but I'll check that out here in a bit. One thing that I noticed also is after putting on the front fender, I also put on my refinished horn up there, that the front fender is close to the acorn nuts on the head of the engine, but there is just enough clearance and it doesn't look like it can hit, but there's probably less than a centimeter of space between those two. Here's a hidden shot of the refinished horn. I need to reroute a lot of these wires. Most of them are just sitting up here for testing purposes. I need to run some of these more correctly through the handlebars, and I also have the handlebar grommets that I need to add, because right now they're just sitting directly through the metal. And also I have the cable holder that goes here, but again, need to sort out the order of some of these cables. So for the controls, I do need to get the other brake assembled and installed. The rear tail light. I ordered a voltage regulator to finish up the wiring so that I can have power to the lights. And then down here I need to finish up the whole brake assembly and brake linkage, but all of that should be pretty straightforward. So pretty close to complete on the bike. It's about 8 a.m. here, so hopefully the neighbors aren't too mad if I go ahead and try to take this for a ride.